how it works for me. Okay.
Sometimes
Oh,
that's
right.
just how
There we are. All right, so tonight I'm doing another kids art inspired piece. So I've got a few little characters, Sponge Bob characters, who I know nothing about. Like, I'm aware of the existence of SpongeBob. I don't know how anybody cannot be. I vague familiarity with the characters, sort of. I think like there was a point in time where my nieces would watch it, so I'd probably seen bits and pieces of some stuff. But I'm not looking at anything that is a source from like the official artwork. I am purely going from this drawing here that was provided to me or as a inspiration for something to create realistic for kids. Okay, that better? Sorry, there's cords everywhere. Hopefully I didn't unplug anything. I don't think I did. Okay, so going into this with little to zero plans. I've got nothing planned out. Just like, yeah, we can make it a little weird. So we have Starfish Dude. I'm just starting with a really rough sketch. I don't know how well that's showing up. I'm trying to draw kind of lightly to begin with, because that makes it easy to correct any issues I might have. Or any things that I draw that I don't care for. So drawing dark to begin with kind of sets things a little bit more in stone than maybe I would want to otherwise, but that's okay. Figure it out. So starting with pencil sketch, the last piece I did, I ended up finishing it in Conte crayon, which is not terribly different than charcoal. A little harder than charcoal, but similar. This is probably going to be like really inaccurate to the cartoon because I really am purely just using the drawing here as my inspiration. It's Patrick? Is that the character's name, I think? I don't remember. And apparently he has starbursts on his shorts. Alright, already a little corrections to be made. But I really shouldn't get too sucked into the details on any one thing until I get my other characters drawn in here too. Giving him some elastic pants. Because I think, I want to say I think that that's what he's wearing, like board short type shorts probably. I mean, under the water themed and all that jazz, right? Okay, so if that's approximately that guy. All right, approximately. Does he have nose? Anyway, I said I was going to move along. Okay, here we go. So I got Sponge Bob, who is much larger than the starfish dude, Patrick, maybe? And so let's start getting him in here. Big old dilated eyes, I guess. So a hat with maybe a, I don't know, it's just like a plus mark. I don't know what that, if that is indeed it, but we'll just put the shapes in and see. I don't know, maybe this member of the Red Cross. Yep, this is definitely going to be weird. Should look into seeing if there's a way to like have music during streams. That'd probably be nice. So, I've never really, like, is Sponge Bob supposed to be like a kitchen sponge? That whole kind of thing, dynamic, never really made much sense to me. But who am I to ask questions of cartoons? It reminds me a little bit of like when I was a kid, people loved Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy, is that right? I think that was it. But if I recall, that was like much grosser, even. Like, I don't remember whether or not like SpongeBob is particularly gross. As I've said, I'm not the target audience. I haven't seen much of it. So that's kind of also, I think, what makes it fun to do this sort of project. The fact that it, like, I don't know these characters. I don't know what they're supposed to be like, really. So I'm sure, like, the results are going to be a little more interesting that way. All right. I think that's a belt, maybe? We're not going to see all that because of his giant tie. That's fine. Does he have pockets? It'd really bother me if I were him and I didn't have pockets. I really despise clothing not having pockets. That's like a thing for women's pants. And it seems like it's something that maybe is getting a little bit better recently, but oh, you get me started on pockets. That is a big old soapbox topic for me. Like the sexism of women's clothing. Makes me very unhappy. Like to this day, I don't even buy like sweatpants or pajama pants if they don't have pockets on them. Absolutely non-negotiable. Must have pockets. I don't know if his tie has any design, but I'm kind of giving him a dad tie because, you know, it's a big wide tie. It's going to be something awful. That hasn't truly been a thing since like the 70s, I don't think, right? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit for some stuffy old dudes. Oh, he has a chin. That's interesting. Okay. You'd think that would suggest the existence of a neck. I'm not so sure for that to be the case. Shouldn't his pants have a pleat? I mean, wearing a tie with a collared shirt and a belt, I feel like it should be pleated. Now what is going on with these shoes over here? He got some heels on? I can work with that. Some kind of scrunched up tube socks. At least one of them can be scrunched up. I'm thinking of maybe doing this with, after I get the drawing done, with some ink. Well, I guess I'm going to give him some like platform heels because I don't know what he's supposed to be wearing. And that's what I gather from this drawing. Who doesn't love some good old platform heels? Not quite. Shouldn't they be bigger, maybe? They look so tiny on him, but maybe that kind of works. Makes it that much goofier. Oh, you hear my Watson cat? What you doing, Watson? Like every stream or post has a little bit of a catch the cat cameo kind of theme to it. He's sitting outside the studio door now. He doesn't like it that when I come in here very much. Would he have proper elbows? I don't know if that's just like the kid drawing thing or that's actually how his arms are. But I guess if I'll give him some proper elbows. Why not? Where are we going here? She has him holding a knife. I'm going to give him a butter knife because that just feels a little bit more appropriate to me. Some very weird, unnatural hands seem like totally fine. Let me think. Most cartoons don't have 5 fingers. I'll give him 4. Seems like a safe in between. Let's give him big long other hand just hanging there. Still not loving that shoot. I don't know. Cartoon shoes are hard. Alright, yeah, good enough, I think. Good enough. Alright, and now this other guy, biggest of them, I guess, perhaps? He's a squid or something. Alright, weird shaped head, big old disconnected mouth. I assume that's his nose. Seems like his eyes are maybe a little closer together. And he's wearing a hat of some sort. I'm gonna assume that is also a baseball hat of some sort. This one will have going upwards, because that's kind of the shape his head is in. Something about the mouth like that is super creepy to me. I'm guessing that this is not very much like what the characters are actually looking like. But we're going with it. Yeah, we are going with it. Collared shirt, I think. Maybe like a polo? So he's like a squid, right? Hence the shape and all the tentacles. I don't know how many. I'm gonna assume that 6. Because I don't know. I will be the first to admit I don't know how many tentacles a squid is supposed to have. I mean, octopus is easy, right? But never really thought about it. Is it different for a squid? I'm gonna see one of these Winnie the Poohing characters. Shirt, no pants. Pants is maybe hard when all you got is a bunch of tentacles. Do squids have like suction tentacles, suction-y cups on them? I really don't know. We're just gonna go off of the drawing I've got here. And that's it. That's what we're doing. Those random questions you never actually thought you'd ever have to ask anybody. All right. I feel less certain about this one than any of the others for sure. Something in the face definitely feels weird, but he's got a bit of a smile here, so we're gonna rock with that. And the eyes are like the half lid closed, so don't know what's right or wrong there. Hello, Mr. Watson. Mama's working. All right. So that's the sketches. Very loose, very whatever. And we're going to do some inking, and then I'll work up some shading and detail with it as well. We'll just see how far we get. Oh, hi. Yes, you're very cute. Oh my goodness. There's the Watson cameo, everybody. All right. Here we go. I saw the movie Infinity Pool yesterday. I don't know if anybody has seen that or has interest in seeing that. I am a big fan of Cronenberg films, which I mentioned before, and this is Brandon Cronenberg directing. I believe his father, David Cronenberg, is involved in producing, I think. Don't take my word for anything ever. But yeah, it was interesting, and that's something you can always count on them for in a film, is it'll be interesting. Very nihilistic, that one. Kind of like, what do you do if nothing matters? How do you accept that? How do you manage that information? The biggest issue I think I took with it was just like not caring about the characters at all. The main character is kind of unlikable from the get-go, which for me always makes it kind of hard to really get into the film and like be vested in the outcome of what happens to them. And there were definitely a few things that I think I still maybe didn't get, that I might need to like maybe go back and look up and see what other people thought. Maybe. We'll see if I care that much, if I want to do that. But yeah, I would be, I guess, curious what other people thought of it. Well, the concept of the film, I don't want to give too much away. It's like these folks are on vacation on an island, which is like kind of purely fantasy existence place. And it's a very strict place if you go off of the resorts. Their laws are very hard-lined and unforgiving. And I don't know, I don't want to spoil anything. I guess there's not much I can say without really actually getting into spoilers. So I'm not going to. I'm going to try to be good. It's a brand new movie. And I see very few brand new movies, like really in general. So on the rare occasion that happens, try to behave myself. It's just, there's just a few things about it that didn't add up for me. I would be very curious about, did I just miss something? That's possible. There's probably tons of like commentary, social commentary and other things going on there. Oh, and I watched the first episode of Picard season 3, and that was a hard sell to get me to be willing to do that, because the first season was terrible and the second season I refused to watch, and I heard nothing good about it. But then heard some semi-promising things about the third season, so it's like, okay, we will try it. I mean, one episode doesn't tell you too much yet. And yes, big time Star Trek dork in the past. But I've kind of fallen aside on some things because just been really uninterested in what they've done lately. Strange New Worlds is decent. I think, compared to everything else. Probably the best thing, if you're really curious about getting into Star Trek, any of the modern stuff, is Lower Decks, the animated one. It's just like legitimately funny and more Star Trek than the other Star Treks. Alright. Making some adjustments from my initial sketches as I go. Just whatever I think I might like better. And these stupid shoes. Alright, I think I can live with that. Yeah. So far, so okay. I'm using a Miocron 0.08 to do the main line work here. I'll go back in with a smaller one probably to do some of the details and textures and shading. Alright. Creepy cheekbones. Seems appropriate. Hmm. Go a little bigger maybe on one of the eyes than the other. As long as I'm here, let's just fill that in. Yeah, if we're gonna do that one eye bigger than the other, then let's just go a little more obvious with it. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, it'll do. All right, works. We can give him a little waterline under his lashes. So how is that not weird? Does he have eyebrows? There aren't any in the drawing. Should he have eyebrows? Nah. Nah. Unnecessary. Considering everything else. I mean, I hope that I'm making it a little weirder than the actual thing, but I don't actually know if that's the case. So, whatever, I suppose. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, this one I don't know about. Face seems very wrong to me. Maybe it's those eyelashes. Let's see. If I go with the drawing, they actually have like this flat eyelid on the top. Lid on the top. Maybe that's like a brow. Oh, maybe that's the... Oh, maybe that is an eyebrow. Let's give him a full-on eyebrow then. Unibrow. I have no idea. But that's what we're doing. Alright, let's just do it. Okay. Maybe a shorter chin. Yeah. I really don't even know. This is so weird. Interesting challenge to like take on drawing something that I know very little of anything about. Like I guess I already said that, but not the worst thing in the world to do. Because you just gotta let your imagination fill in the blanks a little bit, or just logic about what do I know about cartoons and the way that they tend to be designed and function. Okay. I'm going to draw in a few more of the details that I already roughed in with my smaller pen, and then I'm going to go back in and erase my pencil lines. Alright, so that's the basics of this guy that I have. We'll add more in a little bit. Alright. Okay. What else we got on him? Yeah. I guess my question is Sponge Bob a naturally occurring loofah, or is he a kitchen sponge? Because he's a rectangle. Yeah. I have questions. I was trying to finish a book before today. I did not get it done. I ended up actually leaving the house this weekend, which was a little bit unexpected, so that took away a little bit of my time, which is fine. I'm close to finishing the book. I'm on to page... No, I don't know the page number. I'm about 3/4 of the way done. Maybe a little bit more. Alright. Let's erase those pencil lines and then see what else we can add in there. Definitely would like to get some kind of rendering, shading stuff happening. Oh, I got too hard with my pencil. You know, it's really hard to pull it up. There we go. This is not the ideal eraser. It's just what I happen to have with me. All my other erasers are apparently in another room. Right where they belong. All right. So my little guy, this is the one I'm using for details, is a Miocron 005. Nice, very fine lines with that. Really nice for doing some of the hatching. Okay, let's continue. One of the nice things about doing something like this as an exercise is to do something where you really don't care a whole lot about the end result, in the sense that, like, this is not going to become a piece in my portfolio, you know, so I can really just let go and make it a fun thing. I can actually even give his eyeballs a little depth. They'd be kind of semi-spheres, right? Some shadowing on his eyelashes. At this point I'm working like very non-discriminately, like I don't have a plan about what I need to do on which character in which order, so it's just dig in and do. gave them all, well, I gave a couple of them at least like nice big bags under their eyes, because I just gotta imagine it must be very exhausting to be these characters. Don't you think? All right. I'm approaching those as if light is coming from this angle because, you know, important details here. But let's keep, that helps keep things consistent to know where my light source is. I feel like all these spots on him would be more like acne scars almost. That's just kind of how my brain is interpreting that. I'm losing some of that, the fidelity of those shapes, those little spongy crags, when I add them close to shading. That's probably okay though. We'll see if I need to go back and make any adjustments. This guy's getting, I kind of like how this is going a little bit. Here's my cat again. Hello, Watson. He got bored and decided to come see what's happening, I guess. Didn't you? Really? Should get him his own microphone. He'd probably love that. Okay. Nope. There we go. There's my cat. I think I'm going to maybe zoom in a little bit on the drawing. Sharpen that up a hair if we need to. Does that look all right? I think it's a little blurry. Hold on. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, right about there. There. You know, I see I have like dirty fingerprints. Oh, I'm making it worse. All right, come on, cat. You are adorable, but keep your fuzzy nose off the picture, huh? He probably is meant to be a gross character, right? I gotta think that that's really how it is meant to be. Like, maybe Ren and Stimpy-esque, maybe. Get my bigger pen out. Oh, cat, butt to the face. I'm gonna color his belt in. You move your tail. It's right in the way. He's very helpful, as you can see. Probably getting some nice kitty ASMR because he's walking over the microphone. His little belly's like brushing against it. All right. So butter knife. It'd probably be better if I actually had like a tub of butter maybe on there. I don't know. Overthinking it, I'm sure. I wonder if I could have done this just with like pencil rendering. Certainly could have done that. I used to work with the ink and pens a lot, a long time ago, so it's kind of fun to play around with that again. It was like my medium of choice back when I was an angsty high schooler. You could get such terrific weird details with things and make things kind of like a little bit gross if you wanted to. These shoes are crazy weird, and I'll admit it, but I was working off of my reference. I have no idea how accurate. I assume these kids probably know these characters pretty well. They probably look exactly like that. Every now and then a random thing occurs to you. Like, I don't think I've ever, maybe never in my life before, drawn a tie? Have I? I'm trying to remember. I really don't know. I don't recall. Oh my goodness, what is this? I don't know what I've gotten on the paper here, but I thought I was going to clean it up and I think I made it just worse. Okay, anyway, we'll ignore that. Pretend nothing happened. We'll just keep moving along. Trying to remember what like an actual jellyfish kind of looks like. Not jellyfish, starfish. Aren't they pretty like stiff things? Make his pupils much larger. This is becoming a little bit of a mess. I'll admit that. Getting a little out of hand, maybe. He's back. Mr. Watson, hello. Okay. Chewing on my pen is not helpful. No, that's not very helpful. I think I'm losing my, I'm losing some, I don't know, my mind. It's just, yeah. I'm kind of just going for it, so it's getting very messy. Your fuzzy butt is in the way. Are you not worried about your fuzzy butt being in front of the camera? Hmm? No? Okay. By all means, knock yourself out. Well, y'all come here to see my cat, not my art, right? I can only assume. By the way, this is Watson. He is my almost 2-year-old Abyssinian. And he is a character. It's like, you're not doing anything important, are ya? Nah, never. You just stand right over the drawing. No big deal. No big deal. Yes, everyone's here just to see you. Your fuzzy butt. Hmm? Oh, silly guy. Don't move the camera, please. Oh my goodness. He's trying to take down things on the wall now. Okay. You do you. It's all fine. No big deal. Nothing to see here. I think I can honestly say that I don't know that I've done any justice yet. I'm not quite done yet, but I don't expect it's gonna get like a whole heck of a lot better. But we're gonna see it through. We're gonna see it through. because you never know. And it's the thing that I'm doing tonight. There's plenty of things that, you know, you can start, and if they're not going right, trash it, abandon it, whatever. Well, sometimes I just go ahead and just keep going with it just to see what happens. And you can always learn something from projects that don't go the way that you think you'd like them to. I had zero expectations about this being like an amazing piece, because I don't know, I'm just screwing around. It's just an excuse to do some drawing. Well, coming back in with that heavier line does definitely help a little bit. Probably would have had a drawstring on his shorts, I bet, but since I don't have it on my reference picture, I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, I'm gonna beef up some line work on Mr. Bob here, and then we'll move on to some detail work on the squid dude. Try not to like hold my pen in a way that I'm totally blocking what I'm drawing while I'm doing it from the camera up above. I know that I hold my pen, whatever. When I was a kid, they'd often try to correct me because I hold it with my right hand like a left-handed pen. Like if I were left-handed, that's what I was told, and teachers would try to correct me, and it's like, what's the problem? I write just fine. And I wasn't hearing it. So I never changed. I've always held my pencil and like, what is it you're supposed to do? Something like this? I don't know. I hold it like this. Whatever. Served me just fine thus far. Okay. Where are we here? Is that helping? Maybe. I hope. Like I said, doesn't really matter. Most of the time doing a thing is so much more important than anything concerns about perfectionism. How is it going to turn out? Is it going to be what I want it to be? All that stuff just stops you from doing anything, generally. Never get anywhere if you let that kind of thing stop you. Because you're never going to be like great at anything your first go at it, right? I mean, even if you are good at a thing your first go, it's more likely to be like a kind of a lucky fluke than just you are inherently a master of a thing that you can replicate that amazing outcome again and again. So we have to try in order to learn. So might as well remove the fear from it. And just enjoy the process. I guess I could really use like an in-between of these pens. So I have my very, very, very light line, the 005, and I have my much heavier 08. It wouldn't hurt to have something in the middle. But at least right next to me in the studio at this moment, I am working with what I got. That's another thing. Like doing or not doing something based on not having the right thing, and it's always going to be like, oh, once I have such and such. You know, there's a lot you can do with what you have, especially when for sure when it comes to art, you can just lined paper and a ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pen can do some really cool things when it comes to art. Like here I'm working with Miocrons, which are a few bucks a piece, but like the pens that you have for going to school with or just at your like general office type stuff, that works great as well. It's amazing how much differentiation you can get in their line weight. That always kind of amazed me. And I have you can find artists that work with them and doing awesome things. Printer paper and a ballpoint pen. If you want to start doing something with art, or pencil. No special equipment necessary. And there's a lot of ways that that's the case. You want to learn a thing, say anything software based, there's a million tutorials online. I mean, YouTube. And there's a lot of free versions of software anymore. Like if you're interested in video editing, there's that DaVinci something. There goes my brain. And there's all these different versions now of photo editing software and even vector software. There's so many things available where it doesn't take large investments to start trying things. And when you're trying things, don't stress about your first goes. We definitely have to learn how to fail at things. This cat hair. Go figure. Yeah, anyway, learning to fail at things. Super, super important and valuable skill to have in life. Like, you have to learn how to accept when things don't go your way, when things don't work out, and like not let it always completely floor you and set you back. It's got to be, there has to be ways to be able to do that. Like, have those experiences, which we're all going to have many, many of, and take it for what it is. Just another part of life, another step on our paths. All we have to do is decide where we want to go and keep working at it. And if you're into creating things, like, it's a privilege to be able to sit and draw a picture. It's not like, it's important to create. It's important to have these creative outlets. It's important for our culture to have artists, but it's also so not important. So just do what you want to do, what you need to do, and none of the rest of it matters. None of the other voices matter, as long as you're doing the things and keep moving ahead with what you want to make. Be okay with the drudgery if it's important to you. Does that sound weird? Like, it's work. Anything that you want to learn to do is going to be in elements of work. It's going to be elements of failure involved or rejection at some point in time, probably. But if you just know that that's just part of the process of what you're doing, then it doesn't matter. Expect it, take it. It's the drudgery of learning a thing, of doing a thing, of caring about something, of being passionate about something. That's the work side of it. And the fun side of it is super valuable and important, of course, too. And it's fine to just have fun if that's all you want out of it. Then heck yeah. That's the thing. It's all about, what do you want to achieve? Or do you want to achieve anything with it? Is it just important to you to do it? Then just do it. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I guess, like, the point being, I talk often about the problem with perfectionism, which is fear, and I speak about it a lot because it's something that I've struggled with a lot in years and have really had to work at getting over, and I still have to, like, battle that every now and again. It creeps back when I'm not paying attention. I'm gonna grab a white marker here and add a little highlight in the eyes. And like the need for an affirmation, which I think a lot of creatives tend to fall into that. Like, we want justification that what we're doing is good and right. We want to be acknowledged that we're on the right path. We want to be published. We want the jobs. We want to feel like we're good at what we're doing. And that's what doesn't matter. Acknowledgement is great. But if you're creating because you need to create, just create. If you're doing a thing because you need to do it, just do it. And if you keep working at it, you'll probably get there eventually. So it doesn't matter. I don't mean to be like a completely nihilistic when I say that. That's not my intention. But it also is very much true. If you cannot hold those things as important to you, they can't really hold you back. So just keep doing, keep trying, keep at it, keep working. Maybe we'll add a little bit in there too. I'm going to check which pen is which. And I have a lot of pencil or something. I need to probably just really clean this mat. It's basically a cutting board that I'm using to kind of like protect the desk, and I don't even know why. Because it's got paint and stuff on it too anyway. I don't know. It just felt like a thing to do, a smart thing to do, and then it was always there if I ever need it. So, but yeah, it really, really needs to be cleaned, if not replaced, because there's like stuff built up on here that just, yeah, kind of needs to go. Okay, so moving to my last character here. Not to say anything is done necessarily otherwise, but just keep going. Little guy. Okay. I feel like these marks on him should be shiny marks, but I don't know if that's the case, and I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay. I'm going to think about what I'll do on Thursday's stream. Probably back to painting something. I don't know. I have worked a little bit more on the not watercolor, oil painting that I was working on last time. That is not a stream only project for me necessarily, so I did work on it a little bit. I definitely was doing some things wrong. I don't recommend working at an angle with a glare for the sake of the camera, I need to be more thoughtful about setting up my lighting and my viewpoint, and where the camera is maybe like higher, so it's like I don't have to worry about blocking it when I'm working, and therefore everything isn't working, and it takes me forever to realize that it's because I'm looking at it like skewed. And so every time I think that I'm doing something to fix something, it's like it just keeps getting kind of worse. So after the stream, like the day later, I went back and I made some of that a little better. So I've got that painting going. I'd like to finish it before too long. And I don't know, my really huge painting doesn't work great for streaming because it's just too darn big. So I don't know, it's either I'll work on that oil more or I'll be working on something brand new. There's always room to come up with new things to do. That's for sure. Alright. So, got my shady side of the face over here. Get them nice round looking. This is unibrow looks sufficiently like an eyebrow. This is probably entirely wrong, but whatever. We're going with it. What's that Sesame Street character? There's like Bert and Ernie. One of them has the unibrow. Man, when I was a kid, I hated that. I'd see that, I'm like, why? Why would they do that? It's so ugly. Makes him look like a villain. So I always thought he was supposed to be a bad guy. We're giving him some like age lines because it feels right. Considering he has these like brow ridges and whatnot, and the unibrow. Shadow under his hat. You know, it's probably going to be this thing where I was like, this character I don't think is right, not working for me, and now it's probably going to be my favorite of the three. That would figure. Nothing wrong with that. Just sometimes things go in unexpected directions, as I have been ranting about already. So many rants. Like going back and forth between ranting about random things and just like staring into the abyss while I'm drawing things. Every now and again, I actually concentrate on something. Don't know how or why. It's usually a bad idea. Almost always a bad idea. Yeah, maybe those spots are like age spots, maybe. Squids get liver spots? That would be interesting. They probably don't have livers, most likely. Or anything even remotely like that. Alright. Because of the shape of his head, we'd get a little shadow over here too. A little bit, anyway. Nose would cast a shadow, a big ol' honker. Of course, the hat. Alright. Yeah, I actually think he might end up being my favorite of these guys. You just don't ever know how it's gonna end up. Here. Alright, I still need to finish this one. But, you know, it could be the fact that I'm doing him, like I'm rendering him out last, that he's working better for me. Just that old kind of like getting the feel for what the heck I'm doing here. Whatever. It's fun. Fun for the sake of having fun and just arting. I will give this drawing to the provider of my reference photo this week. Hopefully they will enjoy it. At least find it amusing. I truly did not look. I did not look at the actual characters before I did this. Only my reference, and like I almost wish that I had looked at like squids, because I feel like this probably isn't right. Well, I already know everything is wrong, but yeah, do they have do they have the suction cups on their tentacles? I don't know. I'm asking this question about a character whose like mouth is floating out in the middle of nowhere and has a nose hanging down below his chin. Like, none of it makes any sense. But that's my brain's attempt to make sense of a thing. Again, always a bad idea. Shadow cast by his upper body there.
That's the one right on the revolver.
Sort of reminds me of some weird
Right on W is Vault.
video game I saw somebody play part of once called Octodad.
No, I picked up the left.
That was very interesting, kind of an indie thing. I think I don't really play video games. I'm very terrible at it, and I've never taken the time to like attempt to get good at it. It just
Are you sure there's nothing else that you need?
okay. Well, that's not entirely true. Back in the day, I enjoyed playing like the first and second Quake games and some Doom, and I really liked. I actually have played all of the Diablo games and enjoyed those. So, yeah, that wasn't entirely accurate, but here's where I struggle. When you have to have one thumb to look around and one thumb to move, like my brain is just like going like that, like, God, nope. I'm upside down. What's happening? Why did I die? Yeah. It just, yeah, not for my brain. Nope.
I like time because it has no space.
All right.
Well, the cloud is also
Let's just get this guy wrapped up. I've been at this for, oh my goodness. Have I really been at this for 2 hours? It's time to lock it in. Time flies when you're having fun. I hope anybody who's watching this after the fact puts it on like 3 times speed to see it, at least. Because, my goodness, I can't believe I worked on it that long. Alright, so I'm kind of just trying to get this done here. Let's just wrap it up. I don't have any more pictures that have been given to me to try to render up, and I'm not in a hurry to do it necessarily again unless something interesting catches my eye or attention, or so yeah, probably back to some regularly scheduled programming after this. So my shading is like very neat cross-hatching, cross-hatching. And then I also do a lot of like scribble shading when it comes to like pens and pencils. Alright, come on, let's get it done. I want to finish this and go get some dinner. Dinner would be nice. Okay. I'm rushing it a little bit at this point. Shadow. More or less. There we have it. It is very messy. Yep. Whatever. I'm happy enough with it, and I spent plenty of time on it, and it's we're gonna just, yeah, good place to just stop and say, hey, I did a thing. So doing things is fun. My hands are tired. I'm tired and I'm hungry, and Yeah, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for watching. And I hope to catch, if anyone stops by on Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Central, I will be slightly more caffeinated and doing some painting again, maybe some mixed media. Who knows? All right, that's it. Bye. Have a good night.